Hi everybody, welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. But before we get started, as usual, I have to do it always because I refuse to gatekeep on the best community on these internet streets. I just refuse it. And listen, if you have been hanging out with us, watching the podcast, hanging out over there in the comments, and you still hadn't subscribed, hadn't become a part of this community, what you waiting on? It is so simple. All you have to do is go down in your settings and look for the subscribe button and go ahead on and subscribe. And while you're in there, hit the notification bell too so you know when I upload or when I just want to pop in, and give me a thumbs up to fight my nemesis, the beast, the algorithm. Let me tell you, I am starting to win. I am, and it's all because of y'all. Y'all keep on coming with the thumbs ups, and I appreciate it so very much because it helps. It really helps the channel. And you know what else helps the channel? All of the readers who decide to support the channel by watching the commercials. Y'all are doing a great job. Y'all continue to knock it out of the park, and I continue to appreciate it so very much because, like I said, it really, really helps the channel. Also, over there in the corner, that's our join button. That's for channel memberships. And if you choose to become a channel member and a part of the reading club, you will be supporting my channel to grow, to improve, and to continue. And I'll be so grateful, so thankful, so over the moon appreciative to have your support. And if you just want to do a one-time donation, look around down there and find that super thanks button and click it. And all donations to the channel is always, always greatly appreciated. All right, y'all, we do have some super thanks. We do have some shout outs. And first up is Angela White. Yes, Angela decided to come through. I must say, I am so thrilled and so over the moon that Angela has decided to become a part of this community. She is so sweet and so kind, and I am so grateful. So thank you, Angela. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. And Angela May came through. Yes, Angela has been with me for a while, and Angela is the best. She is. She is always in those comments. She is always coming up with a new point of view. I love seeing her comment. She is just over the moon, the best. She really is. And I am so grateful that she is a part of this community and a part of this tribe. So thank you, Angela. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. And 08065 came through. Yes, she has been with me for a minute. And let me tell you, she is so faithful. She is. She's so kind. She's just so wonderful with her support. She is a ride or die, always down with the read. And I am so thankful to have her as a part of this community. So thank you, 08065. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. And Robin Samuels came through. Yes, she did. Robin has been with me for a minute. She has. She is always faithful in her support. She's always in those comments. She is. And let me tell you, if you see her commenting on something, read it, because I promise you, you're gonna be impressed. She always has such a great point of view. She really does. She is always on point. So yeah, Robin is the best. So thank you, Robin. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here and riding so hard for the read. All right, y'all, I'm going to play this and we'll talk on the other side. y'all, I want to give another quick shout out to Angela White, to Angela May, to 08065, and Robin Samuels. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank y'all for the super thanks, but most of all, thank y'all for writing so hard for the read and always coming in to support. It means everything, and I appreciate it so, so, so very much. All right, y'all. Y'all know what time it is, and y'all know what I do when I am putting the read together. I hit these internet streets, and let me tell you, it is getting interesting out here. And what I mean by interesting, it seems that a full-on episode of Games of Thrones has broken out over there across the pond in that family. They are doing everything. Kensington Palace, Buckingham Palace, they are only trying to save themselves. They are not trying to save the institution. They want to save themselves. And it is something to watch. I mean, the planting of stories and the treachery is on full display. And we're going to talk about it because it is some articles out there being put in the Daily Fail and around that shows that Willie is trying to take Charles down. He's trying to take him down. And it's also articles out there to show that Charles is trying to keep Willie at bay. He really is. So we're going to talk about all of that. And we also have some other little tidbits we're going to talk about. It looks like Willie and Kitty went to the BAFTAs and it didn't go quite so well. And they are still copying Harry and Meghan. Come out there color coordinating. When has Willie and Kitty ever color coordinated? I mean, that has never been a thing for them. Not ever. But all of a sudden, when Meghan came in there and started to color coordinate with her husband, oh, here comes the copying. And what Meghan was doing was something that she learned years and years and years ago. Because if you go to a black church, any black church here in America, you're going to see that. You're going to see husband and wives, children, and whole families color coordinating. And don't go to a family reunion. Don't go to any kind of function that Black Americans are going to be a part of. They're going to ask you, what is this color scheme? What kind of color are we going to be using to coordinate? Yes, we always color coordinate. So this was nothing new for us because we knew exactly what Meghan was doing. Go back and look at President Obama's election night. Yes, Michelle Obama had everybody color coordinated. Yes, that's what we do. Black people color coordinate. Now that's just something that we do. And that right there just shows you that Meghan comes from those roots. But they even copied that. They did. All of a sudden they're color coordinating. Stop it. I mean, I can't with these people. But yeah, we're going to talk about what happened at the BAFTAs, and I'm going to give my opinion on something that really happened that I found disturbing. I really did. And we're going to talk about that. So we have a whole lot of things we're going to talk about. Y'all buckle in. Y'all lock in. I'm not going to keep you long, but I promise you, I'm going to keep you entertained. We're going to start with this. And I'm going to put this up because I just found this so interesting after the whole performance. That's what I'm going to call it, the performance, the pantomime of the arrest of Prince Andrew. They were all out and about. These people who absolutely never, ever works. They were all dispatched to get out and start looking busy. It started with Charles, his horse, and Edward, he is over there at the Olympics. And who else was it? Oh yeah, old faithful Anne. Yes, she was out and about as well. Well, here comes Willie and Kitty. They're bringing up the rear as usual, but out and about. And this particular squatty wrote about it and saying that they are going back to their roots, back to what Queen Elizabeth II said about being seen to be believed. Yes, finally, they think that maybe it's a good idea to get out and let the people see you. But at this point, isn't it too late? Because I don't think it's anybody who really wants to see them right now. Who would want to see a bunch of grifters? But I digress. This particular squatty said, Queen Elizabeth II, we have to be seen to be believed. Well, Charles used mummy's tactics today, which I think this squatty is talking about Friday, scrambling to keep the free money flowing, the stolen land, etc. He placed Anne and leaves Edward at the Olympics, Kate at a rugby match, and all taxpayer funded, all passed up for work. Pay up, Brits. And that is so true. These people go out and do nothing and get paid these huge amounts of money and all of this land, all because they were born into this family. I cannot get my head around that. And I don't understand the whole deference that is attached to this family. I don't. They are the most mediocre bunch it is, and seems to be the most morally bankrupt bunch it is on planet Earth. I cannot understand the deference that is paid to these mediocre, subpar human beings that just so happen slid out of the right birth canal. I cannot get my head around it. How can you know as a person that you are better than, smarter than, and more moral than this family who you have to bow to or you are expected to bow to? That is what I don't get. I'm sorry, I don't get it. And I'm going to put this up. This is them coming into the BAFTAs. They did make it this year. I think this is the first time in 3 years they actually showed up. And if Andrew hadn't did his performance and gotten arrested, I don't think they probably would have showed up this time because they would have been somewhere skiing. Because we all know this is their holiday time. Yes, this is their holiday time. And I think last year by this time they had got a good 3 or 4 vacations in. So they are running behind. And it's all because they have to show their face because they know that that whole institution is on shifting ground. It is. So here's Willie and Kitty coming in, color coordinated. They even tied a burgundy, I guess that's a band around her dress to make it color coordinate with his jacket. Yes, didn't know anything about that until Megan showed up. Megan will forever have changed that family. Kitty will never be able to claim that. She came there and changed nothing. Nothing about that family she changed for the better. She didn't even change it for the worse. She didn't change it at all. But I digress. This squatty that posted this said, the "we have to be seen to believe" stunt continues. Prince William and Kate arrives at the BAFTAs. Now this is where this squatty got messy and said, Kate's arms are in such great disproportion to her body. And it is acutely noticeable. And I must agree with this squatty. It is so odd that her arms are so much bigger than her body. Her waist, she is slight of frame, but her arms look like she could crack a walnut in her bicep. It is the oddest thing. It really is. But I digress. It goes on to say, so the royal family thinks if they're out everywhere, that Andrew's scandal will be forgotten. Well, what they're doing is they're trying to flood the newspapers, giving the newspapers something to write about beside writing about the scandal. So as long as they're out and about pretending like everything is wonderful, everything is fine, we're on the job, here's you some content, they think that they can weather the storm. That's all it's about, trying to weather the storm. Now, he did get heckled. It was some heckling going on there. But yeah, that's what it's about, trying to weather the storm. And I'm going to put this up. This happened at the BAFTAs. And this is a little off topic, but I want to talk about it. And as you can see, it says Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo had the N-word shouted at them while presenting at the BAFTAs. Yes, 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 that did happen. And it happened due to this man who is a campaigner for Tourette's. He has the Tourette syndrome. And this particular squatty wrote about it and said, I understanding having Tourette's, but shouting racial slurs at them, giving, we are very much not a racist family. Now, this is my thoughts on the whole thing. And I think this campaigner for Tourette's, his name is John Davison, and he was invited to the BAFTAs. Why? That's my question. Why? Now, if he was a part of some kind of film or a part of the night, you know, receiving a BAFTA or even presenting a BAFTA, he should have been on video. He should not have been present at the BAFTA because he does have Tourette's and he cannot control what he says. What if he was saying very explicit sexual things? Would you still invite him to the BAFTA? It makes no sense to me. This man is known, I'm sure, for saying very racist things. You can't hold him responsible because he does have a diagnosed condition. But you can hold the person responsible, the one who decided that it would be a good idea to have him present in the audience. I mean, his head or her head should roll because that to me is so irresponsible. Why would you do that? I mean, as I said earlier, if he was saying very explicit sexual things, he would not have been allowed to be there. Why was he allowed to be there? It makes no sense to me. He should have been on video. He should have wanted to be on video. Do you honestly think if I couldn't control myself and I knew that I had the potential without having control of my actions and what I might say of hurting or embarrassing someone or disrespecting someone at a huge event like the BAFTAs, that I wouldn't sit this one out? I mean, come on now. Now he can be held responsible for that part of it. Because why would you do that? Why? It makes no sense. Heads should roll on this one. And if I was Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo, who was standing there and had to be subjected to this racist rant from this man, oh, it would be a problem. It would be a problem. Not with him, but with the upper echelons of the BAFTAs, because this right here is absolutely unexcusable. I don't care what nobody say. This right here is absolutely unexcusable. You cannot tell me anything any different. It is so many balls that were dropped in this particular situation. Y'all tell me what y'all think. And I'm going to put this up. Of course, it always has to be an ugly old hag. It always has to be a deranger. It always has to be a royalist to come out with some nonsense and pretend like somehow Willie and Kitty is better than Harry and Meghan. And we all know that they have to use Harry and Meghan's name in everything in order to get anybody to pretend like they care anything about anything they have to say. But yet and still, they want to pretend like Willie and Kitty are better than Harry and Meghan. This old, ugly old hag had the nerve to show her picture, so we know she's an ugly old hag. We don't have to guess at it. We don't have a picture of her dog or the moon or anything like that. Usually they put stuff like that in their profile pic because they know we're going to go in on them. But this old hag, she had the balls to put her picture up there. And boy, is she a hag. I'm telling you. And she had the nerve to say her name is Lauren the Insider. And she said, our future king and queen. Thank the Lord William was born first, and had a picture of Harry and Meghan doing the baby mama dance. Well, we know that the baby mama dance got what, over 60 some million views? Ain't nobody checking for Willie and Kitty. Nobody. And we all know that Harry and Meghan are head, shoulders, knees, and toes better than these two mediocre individuals. But yet and still, here she is trotting that out. But all I can say to her on this is, I agree. Yes, and I'm sure Harry would agree. Thank God William was born first, because Harry does not have to deal with the rot that is in that family. Harry can live his life free and clear from all of the stench and all of the moral decay that is that family. Harry can be free of that. So yes, I agree. For once, the squatties and the ugly old hags, the rangers, toadies, and flying monkeys, we are all on the same page on this one. Thank God William was born first. And this squatty who posted this says, the funniest part, millions of people, at least 50 million, viewed Meghan's baby mama dance and loved it. They found it cute, relatable, and unstuffy, and love seeing Harry and Meghan let loose this way. What happened afterwards? People started posting their own dances and started the trend again. Royalists are the biggest threat to the monarchy because they just don't get what the real public wants or feel. Exactly. Exactly. Because if you look at the two brothers, Harry is clearly the better of the two. He has a heart and he is a hard worker. He cares about people. All of the things I just said do not apply to Willie. Willie only cares about himself. He is performative and he is mediocre. And everything that he is him copying Harry. And I'm going to switch gears because this particular squatty is talking about the Game of Thrones that has broken out between Effingham Palace and Kensington Palace. And this is something I find so fascinating because we're getting dueling articles. We are. Now, as you can see, we got this article from the Daily Fail. And the Daily Fail is clearly campaigning for Charles to abdicate and allow Willie to ascend to the throne. But I don't think it's going to be that easy because Cammy, even though she's wandering around, sometimes she's bumping into walls, she's still the evil old witch she always has been. So if I was Willie and Kitty, I would watch my back when it comes to the horse. But as you can see, this is the front page of the Daily Fail today, and it says, emails prove Charles was warned about his brother's secret deal. Now, I read this article. One of the squatties posted the link, to the archive so you could go in there and read it and not give them a click. So I went in there and read it, and I'm not convinced by it at all. These emails that they say prove that this so-called whistleblower contacted Charles's secretary. And the way they set it up, I'm not convinced of it. I might be wrong, but I'm not convinced. Now, do I think Charles knew? Absolutely he did. But I don't think that they maybe have the proof. At least the Daily Fail doesn't. So they come up with this nonsense. Now, I am not a Charles supporter. But, the facts are the facts. This is not very convincing. I don't see how they're going to be able to get away with it. I know Charles would never sue them, but it looks really, really sus to me. And the squatty that posted this said, "Hey, Cams, you work like a mule to become queen of Effingham Palace. Now remind Prince William that you have no intentions of a 5-year reign. Next 24 hours will be a fake cancer bombshell or the alleged or story behind Scargate." Y'all, this particular squatty is saying that Cammy, our horse, might come out with what actually happened with Scargate, because they are planning stories and coming for her and Charles, and we all know the horse will fight. So y'all sit back, get your popcorn, get your wine. We might actually get what went on with Scargate. And this squatty posted that same front page from the fail and said, "So apparently King Charles knew and was very, very aware that Prince Andrew, his brother, was breaking the law since 2019 and did nothing about it. They all knew. They covered and protected him, and we all guessed that they all knew and allowed it." Now, absolutely, absolutely. But this particular article, I don't think proves that. But it is some proof. And it's probably going to come out in the next dump from those JE files. But this, what the Mail has put out, is very thin. Very, very thin. But he knew. He absolutely knew. How could he not know? He is the head of state, and you telling me you don't even know what your brother is up to? Stop it. And I'm going to put this up. And what this squatty posted is the reason why I'm convinced that Charles absolutely knew what was going on. Because he parlayed that into him getting Camilla the big hat. Yes, look what this squatty said. February the 5th, 2022. Queen reaches a deal with Prince Charles to give Camilla title of Queen Consort. And anybody that has more than 2 brain cells know that the queen just didn't wake up one day and said that she was going to make this bed hopper a queen consort. You know it was a lot of bargaining going on there. So that right there convinces me that he knew. And then it says February the 15th, 2022, Queen pays Prince Andrew's £12 million settlement. February the 20th, 2026. I think they made a mistake on that date. I think they meant 2022. Charles gives Andrew 1.5 million. Y'all remember the Queen paid 7 million. They took 3 million from Prince Philip's, his estate, which I still can't get my head around that. Why would they do that? And Charles paid 1.5 million, and they said the other $500,000 came from other royals. Now we all know who the other ones are, but I digress. So yeah, do with this information what you will. That's what this squatty is saying. To me, this right here is proof. This is proof that they all knew, because they divvied it all up, came together and came up with that money. They came up with the 12 million pounds for Virginia Dufresne. All of them, not one person, all of them came up with that money. And everyone who came up with that money knew. But I do want to say this. Now, it's not much good that you can find in this situation. This whole situation is absolutely horrible. But one good thing that has come out of this is the hell that has been rained down on Charles and his horse. And it's so deserving because these two people did everything, everything to be in the position that they are in right now. Charles was willing to do it all, including to cloak and protect his pedo brother, in order to make a deal with his mother that she would say out loud that she approved of Camilla being queen consort. Yes, the horse would get to ascend to the throne. And now all of that has happened. They have moved all the chess pieces off the board. Diana has been Diana. They use Harry and Willie, especially little Harry, that little boy, that little 12-year-old, used him as fodder and fed him to the wolves in order for her to clear the path for her to ascend. She has finally done so, and now here she is wandering around half the time hitting walls, not knowing who or where she is. And he is having hell rain down on his head. He is being exposed. And when he first came in, he had eggs flying over his head. Oh, the karma of it all. Yes, karma has kissed both of them right squarely in the mouth. And I love it. Oh, the irony of it all. How you can absolutely do everything for something you think you want, and when you get it, it is hell. It is HE double hockey sticks. And I love this for him and the horse. Now, I don't care for Kitty and Willie, but I'm still loving this for the horse and Charles. And I'm going to put this up, another story from the fail, and the title is Charles Was Warned. It says emails prove Charles was warned about his brother's secret deals. Whistleblower told Palace that royal family's name was being abused by former Prince Andrew. Like I said, I read the other article and it is a little thin, but okay. And the squatty that posted this said the media dogs that Charles and William used to bash Harry and Meghan now bites them. This shows all of the working royals knew and are dirty, treacherous bums. Arrest them. Yes, they all knew. They all knew. Now they're scurrying around trying to save their own arse. But we know each and every one of them, especially Charles and Willie and the Queen. They all knew. But what the Daily Fail is peddling here is not a smoking gun. And I want to put this up. We're also getting articles like this in the Daily Fail. It says, William the Enforcer. He's a fury, difficult and unforgiving. After Andrew left him boiling with rage, how Prince William will do whatever it takes to stop Uncle bringing down the firm, by Richard Kay and Robert Jobson. Yes, they're talking about the time that William was at the funeral of, what is the Duchess of Kent? Yes, he was at her funeral and Andrew spoke to him, and they're saying that he was boiling with rage because of that. And I want to read some of the excerpts that this particular squatty posted from this article. And one of them says, off camera, Kate is equally direct. So she is equally as bad as he is. And it says, household staff, royal aides, even family members tread softly around William, mindful of his mood swings before raising sensitive issues. Does that sound like someone who will make a good king? Just a question. And then it goes on and says he can be fiery, occasionally difficult to handle, Even palace switchboard operators are careful about which calls they put through. On one occasion, an official, acting on the king's orders, was instructed to obtain William's written acknowledgement of the security risk of flying his entire family in one helicopter. William point blank refused. His colorfully worded reply was said to have been reported directly back to the king. So William pretty much told Charles to F off or F himself. Y'all know that's what he said. William is a full on raging lunatic. And they are trying to tell us that at every turn. But yet and still they want to try to pretend like he is going to be this great king. If you think King Charles' reign is a total and complete disaster, wait till you get a load of King William. And I'm going to put this up because this is a perfect example of how stupid King William will be. Now, he's not stupid for wanting to get rid of Andrew and Beatrice and Eugenie, but to get rid of his brother, that is the reason why he is going to go too far. It says not only would Andrew be removed, I think, from the line of succession, and his daughters Beatrice and Eugenie, but so too would Prince Harry. No wonder there is private talks among supporters of the royal family that this could represent an opportunity for the Windsors to regroup and renew. They really think this would be a good idea. Like I said, wait till you get a load of King and Queen dumb as a rock. They are absolutely going to be a shit show. And the squatty that posted this said, so Robert Johnson claims that William is full of anger, rage, and unforgiving, and everyone has to walk on eggshells around him. But that's a good thing and much needed according to him. And yet Meghan was the one who was called difficult and a bully? Effing spare me. Exactly. Yeah, they're talking about how he behaves, but that's not bully behavior, and that's supposed to be good. But Meghan sending an email at 5 a.m. that you don't have to open until you get into the office, that's bullying. Stop it. Stop it. I'm like this. Effing spare me. And I'm going to put this up. This also appeared in the mail. It said, Amanda Patel, no one seems to dare to say it, but William is the monarchy's next big problem. All I can say is, where is the lie? Where is it? But she is going to retract it. Just give her time. She'll be backpedaling and booty popping in about another hour or so. But it says Amanda will be apologizing, but for now, she might be right. Ain't no might in it. She is absolutely right. And the squatty that reposted this said, plenty of us already know this to be true and have been saying it for years. How on earth do people actually believe that hashtag Prince William has the ability to change his disordered, slovenly, petulant, bullying nature overnight? Exactly. This is who this man is, and it is only going to get worse. You know, Michelle Obama said this about the presidency. She said, the presidency doesn't change you, it reveals who you are. And that is what is going to happen with William. It is not going to change him. He's not going to suddenly change into this terrific human being. No, it's going to reveal who he is to everybody. Willie and Kitty, King and Queen, dumb as a rock, is going to show the world that they are dumb as a rock. I'm just saying. And this squatty posted about it and said, William has always been the problem. A spoiled underperformer consumed with jealousy of his younger brother. Willie's problems are only just beginning. Where is the lie? Yes, it is going to be entertaining, him and his mannequin wife, because they are going to crash and burn. Because how could they not? They have the worst sense of right and wrong. They have the worst group of people around them. That PR team could not figure their way out of a wet paper sack. All they do is copy Harry and Meghan. They hadn't had an original idea since ever. And we expect them to somehow be this wonderful couple, this great king and queen of the United Kingdom. Stop it. And this squatty posted that same article and said 43 years of propping up William, dimming Prince Harry's light, stealing his work and projects, passing them off as Willies, demonizing Harry and Meghan to sanctify him, failed because he's a lost cause. Now Willie is boiling with rage, difficult, unforgiving, and bad tempered, but it's good? Exactly. They are trying to use Davo on us. You know how you make someone's strengths their weaknesses and their weaknesses their strengths? That's exactly what's going on here. Trying to gaslight you into believing that somehow a raging lunatic would be a better king than the one that they have now. Yes, they want you to believe that this person who is as dumb as a rock would somehow make the monarchy great again. What they gonna do? Get some red hats and print the slogan on there like MAGA? Make the monarchy great again? Is this what they're planning? Because it is just as stupid as thinking that this man who absolutely cannot control his temper is somehow going to save the monarchy. How ridiculous. And look at this one. This is from LBC. It says William and Kate must rebuild the royal family's integrity, says PR expert. I want that PR expert to tell us how Willie and Kitty would do that when they have done so much of the damage themselves. Does he not understand that Willie's earth flop is tainted by this whole JE scandal? I mean, come on now. Did they not understand that that cancer charity that Willie and Kitty just started is tainted by the JE scandal? How are these two going to build any integrity? She ran the honeypot and he was dumb as a rock to fall for it. And you expect these two, to somehow have integrity. The same ones who has planted story after story after story and planted lie after lie after lie against his own brother. The only person in this world that loves him for him. Because let's not get it twisted. Kitty Cat would not be there if he wasn't who he was. Harry is the only person that loves Willie for who he is, and he is too stupid to understand that. That is the reason why I call him future King Dumb as a Rock. Because how can you hate the only person that loves you? You have to be dumb as a rock. I'm just saying. And this particular squatty came up under that post from LBC and said, Prince William and Kate Middleton actively tried to rehabilitate a child sex offender, Prince Andrew, and then posted it. As you can see, here's the receipt. Prince Andrew attends Balmoral church service in show of family unity. And who is he in the car with? He's in the car with Willie and Kitty. And they want you to believe somehow they have no skin in the game. Get out of here. And look at this one. This is from Hello Magazine. Trying to use Lilibeth to prop these two up. They have no load that they won't go. Look what it says. Prince William and Princess Kate's secret gift to Princess Lilibeth amid limited contact. Who believes that? Who believes that? But they will use anybody to prop these two up. And this squatty came up under that post and said, shut the puck up, biatches. Keep Archie and Lily out of all of that. William and Kate are nothing but pedo protectors. Don't use Harry and Meghan's children to make those devils look good. And that right there is exactly what they're trying to do. They are not above anything. It is no low that they won't go. And that includes using Harry, Meghan, and their children. They are trying to use Lily, of all people, to prop them up. Can you imagine if those children and Harry and Meghan was still a part of that family, a working part of that family? Can you imagine the HE double hockey sticks that they would put the Sussexes through? I mean, Lily has never met them, and yet and still, they are trying to use her, planning stories to prop themselves up. It is mind-boggling to me, mind-blowing. Y'all tell me what y'all think, but this one right here, it is a new low. And I also want to include this one. This particular squatty absolutely just says everything that needs to be said about these flying monkeys and this new narrative that somehow we're supposed to have empathy for Prince Andrew because of his mental health. And no empathy for all of his victims because they never even speak of them. They never do. This squatty said, I just want to give a gigantic F you to every royal reporter and commentator blathering on about Andrew's mental health. You had no such reservations when you all was hounding others, even when it was clear that you knew that they were struggling mentally. 10 elfing years. Exactly. They had no reservations in continuing to hound Meghan, even when they knew Meghan, while she was in that family, she was having unaliving thoughts, and they did nothing but continue to pour it on, planning the stories and reporting the stories and printing the stories. That's why Willie and Kitty can never ever redeem themselves in my eyes, because how could you absolutely have so much evil in your heart to the point that you didn't even care about another human being, not your sister-in-law? Take that away. Just another human being. You wanted her to unalive herself because you were jealous. Really? That to me just shows how evil these two are. So no, miss me with they're going to be such wonderful monarchs. These people are evil, and it's only going to show. It's going to become blaring that that's who they are. Because this squatty says it all. You could have cared less about Meghan and her mental health. I mean, Meghan was begging for someone to help her, and they did nothing but try to continue to destroy her. So they can miss me with this whole narrative that we're supposed to have some kind of empathy for Andrew and that family. They never had empathy for anybody. They never do. The only reason why they are acting and behaving in this manner is because they got caught. And this squatty right here just absolutely put everything in perspective. Look what they said. I choose light over darkness. Where is the light? Where is it? All right, y'all. I will see y'all next time. Bye.